Well, hey there, team. Welcome welcome to the channel, I suppose, the Scarlet Secondment. That's what this is going up on, but I'll see about trying to pin it to the other channel because people have been talking about this sort of thing. So this is my second channel, and I'm sort of going to lay the ground rules on the project that's going forward. I'm going to start up a secondary project over here to support my work and from the feedback of the guys over on the main channel, which is the Scarlet Seeker. Ultimately, so this is a laying it out video. People had expressed the idea of maybe seeing longer full game playthroughs. In fact, that's why I built this channel way back in the day, though I just didn't really commit to it because, you know, one's quite enough anyway. In that I love showcasing stuff sporadically and being that sort of, you know, use your platform to push up the indie games. And that's what the Scarlet Seeker is all about. It also needs to sort of sustain itself. So that's why you will get longer playthroughs of things like Stationeers and Space Crew and all that sort of stuff. Because if I can catch that lightning in a bottle and people are enjoying it and they're tuning in to see that specific game, then I'll support that. So there is a bit of a cold business heart to how the channel is run, but at the end of the day, I'm still an honest person and I tell the truth of it. But that's the missing part, is the full committed playthroughs. Because the second a game's not sexy, as soon as hard space isn't pulling the numbers that it should be, I'll drop it. And I don't think you know, there's anything wrong with that because this is my job. This is what I do for a living. I literally work like 16 hours a day on the channel. And that's because I'm a workaholic. I just live for it. Nothing against people that get burnout and all that sort of stuff. Everyone does it differently. I live for working and I've turned my passion into work and I'm very happy about it. But anyway, so how does that lead into this? Well, we're going to sort of try and fill the gap over here on the Scarlet Secondment. This is where I'm going to start doing full game playthroughs. I've sung my praises on the monthly update on the main channel that I really like the channel, the website howlongtobeat.com, which is essentially like a vault where people go across there and they log a game that they've completed and how many hours it took, right? Simple enough, but what that sort of has as an underlying statistic, it's showing you the games that drift to the top, because it does have a popularity sort of bias, like what is getting logged the most at the moment. So it indicates that people are taking the time to play a game for like 20, 30 hours, complete it, and log it en masse. Safe to say it's probably worth at least looking at as a game. So I find that to be a really good finger on the pulse way of looking at a review system, because a lot of people have lost faith in the mainstream review system. I have too, right? There's so much, people have so many media biases this day, and the reactionary YouTube reviewers, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on them, but anyone that's ever watched anything on YouTube knows that sensationalism sells, negativity sells, and so the knee-jerk against the mainstream press that push agendas in reviews potentially, you're sort of getting the inverse of people pushing back in a reactionary manner. Add that to the pile, you've got Steam reviews where, you know, people brigade, and that is the right of the user, but that undermines the system. So all of these systems have various corruptions. I find that the How Long to Beat, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to cover games that sort of can never be clocked. You're probably not going to see Dota 2 on How Long to Beat, for example. So there's some holes in it, but for me, it's a great little high water mark for what's popular at the moment, you know, what's sexy, what people are completing, which means what's tolerable, you know, what's worth playing. So, at the moment of speaking, Hades is on the top. I've already been playing Hades because I was working this as a private project for me personally in the background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new gameplay of Hades for the channel. I'm not just going to pick up halfway through and we're going to go from the start. It should be interesting that I know a lot of the systems already. But I don't care. I love it. I put probably 15 hours into it or something already, and I don't care. I'll start again because it's fantastic. So here are the rules. That's the preamble. That's the background. Again, this channel for the most part is for the overflow, for the hardcore fans that love watching all my videos and want more. And I will just say that the main channel is not going to stop. If anything, this one will be a little bit more sporadic while we find rhythm, because the first channel is the priority. That was the common feedback. It's like, we'd love to see it, just don't burn yourself out and don't shit the bed on the main channel. Don't drop the ball. So main channel is still going to be priority. This is where I go when I've got an extra bit of work and I squeeze it onto the channel, okay? So these are the rules. Every second video that I put up is going to be the Chad game that's in the top spot. So Hades is the example I'm using. So every second video that goes on this channel will be Hades until it's unseated or until we clock it, right? So that way you have a guaranteed through line that and I'll go on to what I'm doing on every other video, but at least every second is going to be a committed sort of series. Whether you like Hades or not, that's fine, but that's just the general recipe. Every other episode is going to alternate between this, because we're going to run other games on the channel. I'll get to that as well. That's a third sort of addendum. Whatever is sort of popular from the sort of not Hades game is going to get a video. So say I'm playing Witcher 3 as well, because that's on the top of that list, and people are really digging it. That's going to get play. So there's going to be a popularity component similar to the main channel. And then the other type of video is going to be cycling from the bottom of the list. You can see, if you go to How Long to Beat, you'll see that it holds 20 results per page. Ultimately, in my ideal world, I'm going to have all 20 of those playthroughs running at various rhythms, right? If it's once a month or once every couple of months of an episode of the least popular one, then so be it. But that's going to be the plan. So the broad layout will be like Hades, and then most popular game, then Hades, and then game that's at the bottom of the cycle. But then there's a third component. We need to fill the roster with all those games on the list, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that specifically. I might, you never know, I might just do 20 videos in a row and they're all first episodes. You know, give them all their moment in the sun. I might go, for a while there, I might go Hades, new game, Hades, new game, Hades, new game, that sort of thing, until we start to fill the roster out. But ultimately, once that sort of mutator in the system has been passed, and we have all 20 in the list populated, it will then go Hades, the one that got the most views. Hades, the one that I made a video on least recently. You know, the one at the bottom of the 20 list, put him back on the top. So they'll always cycle through. So the only reason something will cycle out on this channel will because we clock it and we're done with it, or we complete it to a point. Hades might be a good example because we're probably going to be able to clock that game, but I feel like there's a shitload of replayability. So I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, like, do we do a side content playthrough or something like that? I don't know. Or, if something else gets pushed up into the popular channel, making like 21, it'll push the bottom thing off the list. That one will probably just go into cold storage anyway. Okay? So, feel free to rewind through this and go through it. Like, this isn't supposed to be, you know, consumable on the more mainstream channel. This is me coming up with a plan that makes me happy playing games that I want to play with a consistent through line that we're actually going to clock them, and I'm also going to package this in a way that you guys get a bit of input through what you enjoy watching on that channel, so those sort of games will feature more. So yeah, but basically that's it. It ticks all the boxes. It makes me happy that I'm beating games that I think probably have a rubber stamp from my peers through the How Long to Beat system, and it also keeps it semi-interactive for you guys that are watching it. Because if you're coming over to this channel, there's a good chance it's because you just enjoy me, you know, no ego or anything like that. There are guys that just love watching my stuff and enjoy me calling them a squarehead. And so I guess that'll keep everybody happy. So I'm going to put this video up. Come across, subscribe to the channel. The first Hades episode I haven't recorded it yet, okay, but it'll be coming. But I figure if I'll put this up, it also gives a room in case that people have more feedback onto my system and how maybe they reckon they could do it better or whatever, you know what I mean? But to give you an idea, then I'm just sort of laying it bare very clearly, very engineering sort of systems management style. That's how I'm going to do it, and I think it's a good system that will accommodate to everybody that would be interested in that channel. Oh, okay, there's my little rant. I'll chuck some bloody B-roll of Hades in the background or something like that, and I'll put this up, okay? But otherwise, team, thanks for all your feedback. Thanks for helping me get this project up, because this is basically on the back of people over time poking and prodding, saying, hey, could you finish full games for a change? So we're going to work on that. And hopefully, as the main channel gets its legs and and I can stop putting out, 6-7 videos a day and slow down a little bit on that and have it a little bit more regulated, we might start beefing up this second channel a little bit more regularly as well. So we'll see. We'll figure the rhythm out, and we'll see how quickly we can grow as well. It'll be interesting because it's probably only got about 20 subs. I haven't even looked at it. But yeah, if you want to be involved, get across there and subscribe, and I'll get these episodes up ASAP. All right, team. Thanks again for joining me. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you on the next one.